What's good? It's your boy Jay. That's me. All right, let's dive into Smackdown for October the 13th, 2023. A very solid show for the most part. Very solid show. Very newsworthy. So it was a really good show for the most part. So we kicked the show off with John Cena. So John Cena comes out. He gets on the mic and he says, "You guys know it's a big night. So I gotta do things. I gotta do this right." Tulsa, welcome to the season premiere of SmackDown. Then out comes Roman. So Roman, he clowns on John, calls him Mr. Hollywood and all that jazz. Roman says, "We all know who the GOAT is. It's not you, Cena. It's me. We've ran on this before, and we've handled it. So we're gonna do it again. Leave, or we'll make you leave." And then Cena responds by saying, "There's a lot of energy tonight. There's a lot of anticipation for what's about to happen. WWE is always unpredictable with SmackDown. You can never tell." So, Cena mentions Roman's 1,138 days as champion. He mentions that. He says that he's not here to challenge Roman, not tonight, because he hasn't earned it. But I know someone who has. LA Knight, then he comes out to a big pop, gets on the mic, and then he makes fun of Roman Reigns and everything else. And then he says, "Right now you're standing in my you're the man standing in my way right now. Oh my God, I'm sorry, man. How rude of me. I didn't even introduce myself. You know, while you've been sitting at home on the couch for the last month and a half, you wear that gold belt around your waist, things have changed just a little bit. So I tell you what, Tulsa, tell him whose game is it?" So then Roman, he makes fun of LA Knight, says that we're very proud of you, gave you a couple months, and they know your name now. But let's be honest, over here, 1,100 days as champ, I've done things that you would never even imagine doing in this business. What makes you think you can stand in the ring with me? And LA Knight, he starts to belittle Roman Reigns, and then out of nowhere, Jimmy Uso shows up. He attacks LA Knight from behind, and LA Knight gets the upper hand, tosses Jimmy out the ring. So Roman then tells Solo to destroy LA Knight. Solo proceeds to challenge LA Knight to a match. And then LA Knight responds by saying, for those of you who don't know, who don't speak moron, he just said me and you later on tonight. So then LA Knight just accepts the challenge. He does his yes stick, and he does, "I'll turn your ass upside down and use you as a mop." That's not an insult. That's just a fact of life. Yeah. And that was the end of the first segment. So really good stuff there. LA Knight going after Roman Reigns, I don't like it because we all know whoever loses is going to be fair to Roman. So it doesn't matter. Roman's going to beat any and everybody until he faces Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 40. I much would rather have it been like AJ Styles to come out versus LA Knight, but who knows? But it's fine. But LA Knight has a lot of momentum behind him, but Roman's not losing the title until WrestleMania 40, so it's all for naught. Moving on. First match of the night, Pretty Deadly versus the Brawling Brutes. Pretty Deadly get the win. Towards the end of the match, the referee checks on Elton Prince. So he faked a leg injury, and then this allowed for Kit Wilson to hit Rich Holland from behind, and then Elton Prince rolls up Holland for the 1-2-3, which was great. So really good shit there. So shout out to the Yes Boys. Yes Boys! I love Pretty Deadly. I'm glad they're back. Really, really good shit. Really good stuff. Moving on. So it felt like 2006 because Bobby Lashley, he barged into Carlito's interview with Kayla Braxton. Lashley welcomes Carlito back to WWE and says their history is water under the bridge. Carlito suggested they should have a singles match, and then out of nowhere, the Street Profits attack Carlito from behind with a steel chair. So Adam Pearce and Jason Jordan prevented Lashley from delivering a vicious chair shot. Lashley kills Carlito to make sure he doesn't bite off more than he can chew. Really good shit there. I love it. This felt like 2006. In 2006, I was in my sophomore year of high school. So I remember all this very, very well. I loved Carlito and Bobby Lashley back in the day. Great stuff there. So, man, how time does fly. Moving on. So Zelina Vega, she was backstage. She had a conversation. She had a confrontation with Bayley. So Zelina Vega calls Bayley an Io Sky groupie. And so both ladies just bicker back and forth. And Adam Pearce says he has other things to attend to. So he tells both ladies to settle their issue in the ring. Moving on. So backstage in the Bloodline locker room, Roman Reigns wants to know what Jimmy Uso's doing. Jimmy Uso said he's trying to be just like him and make adjustments if plans don't fully work out. He's not afraid to make the audibles. Roman asked Jimmy if he thinks he's a quarterback, and if he would do, and what he would do if he was a quarterback. Jimmy says that he would bring his brother back to the Bloodline. Roman says Jay's old news. Only thing that matters are the tag team titles. The longer Jay continues to hold those titles is an insult to the Bloodline and their legacy. The fact that Jay's running around with Cody Rhodes, that's just a slap in the face to everything they do. Jamie doesn't want Roman to be slapped in the face. Jimmy doesn't make the audibles. Roman does. So really good stuff there. So Roman's getting very annoyed of Jimmy's antics. And that's one thing I like about Jimmy is he's like this passive-aggressive guy. He tries to come off as this hard ass, but he's not. Like, Jay, he kind of has, this stoic character about him, this stoic trait about him. Like, when he's serious, he's dead on serious, and I love that about Jay. But Jimmy is very, very goofy. He's hard to take serious at times. And that's one flaw in his character. He's not serious as his brother is. Jay is 100% serious most of the time. Jimmy is more of the jokester, basically. He's more of the fool, you know? Next, Bayley versus Zelina Vega. Bayley wins in about 2 minutes. No, 3 minutes. My bad, 3 minutes. She wins via the Rose Plant. Then post-match, Damage Control, they attempt to gang up on Zelina Vega, but Charlotte Flair comes out to the ring to make the save. Okay, that's fine there. Not really that important. Don't really care about Damage Control shit. Because Damage Control sucks. I don't understand why we can't break up Damage Control. Dakota Kai is injured, and we all know that Bayley is just using Io. Io would work so well as a come-from-behind babyface. I think that's what best serves her. She can play a heel. She can play a heel pretty good, but I much rather would have have Io as a babyface. Next, on to Triple H's major announcement. So Triple H comes out, and he gets on the mic, talks about how good that reaction was he got. He said it feels electric tonight. He says it's the season premiere of SmackDown. He wanted to come out here and call attention to some unsung heroes of the WWE. And then he puts over Adam Pearce and everything else. He said that he's done an incredible job, doing a very thankless job. He said that he's managed both Raw and SmackDown, that being Adam Pearce. But he said, moving on, Adam Pearce just gained a promotion. He's going to be going to Raw and be the new GM of Raw, which is great. So, who's going to be the general manager of SmackDown? Out comes Dominant Mysterio. He interrupts. He said that Fastlane was not a tremendous success. Judgment Day got screwed out of their tag titles, and now Cody and Jay are tag team champions. And then Triple H makes fun of Dom. And Dom still wants to know why, Cody and Jay are still champions and all that. Why Judgment Day hasn't gotten their rematch. And then Triple H just continues to run down Dom. He said that he had a history of being a lip reader. He said, I believe he's saying something about the injustice with the tag team titles. They shouldn't be defending them tonight because there's a tag team title match on Monday. I got you. But here's one thing, Dominic. Yelling at the wrong people, just like I said. This is the GM of Monday Night Raw. You need to be talking to the GM of SmackDown. Let me bring him out. Nick Aldis, which is great. I am so glad that Nick Aldis is with WWE. Finally. Nick Aldis, a.k.a. Magnus, is fucking tremendous. He was amazing in Impact. He was amazing in TNA, and he was very, very, very good in NWA. The man is tremendous. Tremendous. I'm so glad that Nick Aldis is here. So glad. So Nick Aldis, he gets on the mic. He said that, first of all, he would like to thank WWE for the opportunity of a lifetime to be the general manager and the number one sports entertainment brand in the world today, SmackDown. So he puts over Adam Pearce, and then he told Dom that it's good to meet him, but he's a big fan of his dad, which the crowd was popped for. He said that about a month ago, Cody Rhodes was instrumental in a deal that took Jey Uso to Monday Night Raw, and in exchange, a Raw superstar must now come to SmackDown. So my first official act with Triple H's blessing, SmackDown's first newest superstar is right now. And then Dom says nobody cares. And then Nick Aldis says, we'll get to that in a moment. Right now, business is at hand. The SmackDown's newest superstar. Dom says, I don't care who it is, he's going to slap the shit out of him. Well, he didn't say that, but he's going to slap him in his face, and then he'll respect him. And then out of nowhere, we get Kevin Owens. And I'm just like, oh my God, what the fuck? What in the actual fuck, man? We get Kevin Owens. Oh my God. And I wanted to kick my TV. I wanted to kick it hard. I want to break my TV into 1,000 pieces. I can't stand Kevin Owens. I can't stand him. Why isn't Cody in this position? But I do like I do like Kevin and Sammy being split up. That's great. So I'm guessing the reason why Kevin Owens is here is probably because they're probably going to run back Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens maybe at next year's Rumble. I don't know. Or they could do it on a random episode of SmackDown. They could run back that storyline again. I don't know, but that's all you could do with Kevin Owens. So Kevin Owens basically just stuns Dominic with the stunner. And that ends the segment. So he shook hands with Nick Aldis, and that's it. Moving on. So Roman Reigns is back in his locker room. He's upset that Jey Uso is going to be on the show, and that Jimmy's still sitting on the couch drinking his water. Jimmy wants to know if Roman is being serious. Just imagine if he was, though. Jimmy says that he's going to run the play and leaves with Sikoa. And he goes, yeet. And Roman goes, stop that. So that was really funny right there. Again, Jey Uso's being the doofus. He's being the dumbass of the group. And I don't like that. He's still trying to recruit Jay. That doesn't make any sense. Next, we get a Dragon Lee vignette, which was great. Moving on. So, Nick Aldis, he was backstage. He was being confronted by Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. They want to know what he's going to do with the running narrative that the women's tag team championships are cursed. Nick Aldis says that he needs to attend a meeting he has with Charlotte Flair. And then Nick Aldis runs into Charlotte Flair, and he said that he saw what happened at Fastlane, but things are going to change. Next week on SmackDown, Charlotte will face Io Sky for the WWE Women's Championship. Triple H joined the conversation, and we see he introduces Charlotte to Jade Cargill. Charlotte says it'll be nice to finally meet her. Jade says it's her pleasure. And then Charlotte responds by saying, oh, it will be. So that's pretty cool there. That was great. Like, I was like, oh, shit. Like, that popped me. I was like, oh, shit. So I was definitely excited for that. That was a really cool moment right there. Again, interesting. Next, Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso versus Austin Theory and Grayson Waller for the WWE Undisputed Tag Team Championships. Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso win. Cody wins via the Crossroads. They do the Cody 1D, and then Cody turns it into a Crossroads. Post-match, the Bloodline comes out. Roman Reigns has a huge stare down with Cody Rhodes, which is great. So Nick Aldis had to get in between both guys and said, hey, not tonight, guys. Not tonight. Now's not the time. And it was tremendous. That was a tremendous fucking moment. I love that moment. That was tremendous. We know that Cody Rhodes is going to go to SmackDown. We already know this. He's going to SmackDown. That foreshadowed WrestleMania 40. We know it's happening. Cody will finish his story. Great stuff. Moving on. So, Santos Escobar, he was talking to Nick Aldis. It was a digital YouTube exclusive. I checked it out. And so Nick Aldis says Santos Escobar is going to be facing Montez Ford next week, which should be fun. Main event, LA Knight versus Solo Sikoa. LA Knight gets the win via the blunt force trauma, the BTF. The BFT, my bad. So, Cena comes out towards the end of the match. He hits the AA because Jimmy Uso was about to get involved. And then this allowed for LA Knight to hit the BFT for the 1-2-3. Post-match, LA Knight celebrates for a second, and then out of nowhere, Roman comes out, hits a spear out of nowhere, and then he mocks LA Knight, and he stands tall over LA Knight and calls him an overnight success to close the show. So, really good stuff there. SmackDown was really decent. I enjoyed it for the most part. Kevin Owens being on SmackDown, it kind of makes sense where he can kind of finish his feud with Roman. They could either run that back on like a random episode of SmackDown, or they could do that around the Rumble, or they could do that at Survivor Series if they wanted to. So I don't know. There's a myriad of ways they could go about it. So that means, I guess, Sami Zayn is going to be on Raw, and he's going to be the one to dethrone Gunther if Chad Gable is not going to be able to do it. So that should be cool there. So that's good that Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are apart. That's great. That's really, really good. Charlotte Flair and Jade Cargill being there, that's great. That was tremendous. Nick Aldis is great. I think Nick Aldis being in that role as GM, he's gonna be in that role probably for about 6 months. So he'll probably just transition into being a wrestler, which is great. So I don't know who he could feud with. I don't know. Maybe Austin Theory, maybe Grayson Waller. Don't really know. Maybe Karrion Kross. Who knows? But there are heels on the roster that he could work with, and this is just going to be a transitional role for him. So yeah, but I am so glad that Nick Aldis is there. So glad, and Roman being there is great. So this is good. So we'll see Roman again. I think he's advertised for next week too. So yeah, but SmackDown was a decent show. But what did you guys think? Like, comment below, and subscribe. Peace.
To the